there's the hawk. Before there was a Tiffany Outdoors, there was Tiffany the Farmer.
Follow U-turn when possible.
No, we're not U-turning.
Hi. Hi, what are you doing? Hi, Boo. What?
I'm going to get this box lined up as best as I can. Get it as lined up as possible before I put these in. And at this stage, you got to decide where your front is going to be. And I've decided this side's going to be my front. It's the straightest and flattest that I can get. And I'm using these 1-inch wood screws. It's coming together. Now for the lid. So I got the straightest boards that I have, lined them up, and then what I did was I took a pencil and traced underneath on the other side that has the overhang. There's a lot of overhang right there, so I took a pencil and traced all underneath there, and then I'm going to take my saw and cut that off. I'm going to go over that end there with the sander to get those splinters off. My next step, now that I've got those cut, got those sanded, is to decide which side of these boards I want facing up, the ones that we're going to see on the outside. Although I am going to paint this, I do want the better looking boards on the outside. So I've got that figured out. Now my next thing is to put some bracers in there, and I'm going to be using the 1x2s that I use for the bracers for the tiers. I'm going to be using the same, and I'm just going to put one there. Let's see, I might do 2 or 3. I think I'll do 3. So I need to measure, take the boards off, measure the inside width, and then make it just a tad bit shorter. Actually, I can do that from the outside. I'll use I use these side boards as my guide. Let me get my pencil. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. I need to make sure that my bracer is probably about maybe an inch in from the end of this board, because these right here are the long boards on the outside. So I want to go about an inch in on each side. Line this up as best I can. actually line it up here and then here. I'm gonna go in. Let's see, an inch might be too much. Yeah, make that half an inch. So go in half an inch. There we go. Yeah, there's just enough space here so that when the lid opens and closes, that these won't bind up in the boards. All right, I'm going to use this as my template and cut 2 more. I've got those 3 pieces cut to bind the lid together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edge glue all of these pieces together, and then I'm going to use these and screw them to hold everything together tightly. Then I'm going to clamp it, let it dry for a couple hours, and while it's drying, I need to make a run to the hardware store. Got this glued. This lid is going to have a slight wave in it. Of course, you guys know my motto. It doesn't have to be pretty or perfect. So I have these bricks up here to kind of straighten the wave out just a touch. We'll see what happens. If not, then you know what? It's okay. It's going to be okay. In the meantime, I have to go back to Lowe's and get an arbor. I was rushing last night and didn't pay attention to the arbor size, and this is for a 1/2 inch chuck. Mine doesn't take that, so I need to go get take this back, get a smaller one. So while that glues up, I'm gonna go do that, and by the time I come back, it should be good enough that I can take the clamps off, move it around, and then we'll put the bracers on. We'll do that. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Now my next step is to attach some cleats for the other side of the hinge to attach to. And so I cut down and sanded down these little pieces of scrap wood. And what I'm going to do is, each one of these, there's a screw in the center. So I'm going to put a little mark here, tell me where to screw this block in. And this is going to go in from the inside. Then I'll line this up and screw it in from this way. But first, I need to make some marks here also to put screws in so that I can put in some countersink holes. And I'll use this block as my template. I flipped the toy box upside down so I can get to the other side of the hinge with the lid. And what I'm going to do is, I need to drill some pilot holes. I'm going to drill some pilot holes into my little cleats there, and then I'm going to put the final screw in, and then we can flip this right side up and see if these hinges are strong enough for this lid. Okay, as you see, I can't put enough hinges on there to make that not slam. Plan B. Y'all, I added 2 of these support hinges with the spring in it, and plus I've got the 4 soft close. Y'all, there's enough hinges on here to hold up a bank vault, and still, am I doing something wrong? It still slams. I don't want it to slam. I want it to soft close. It still does that. It's almost there. So I'm going to run to Lowe's and I'm going to get those hinges that go on the left side and the right side, and see if that helps any. But man, I mean, how many hinges is this going to take? I mean, it just looks ridiculous with all those hinges, and it still slams. I don't want it to slam. I want it to close gently. I don't want any squished fingers. So I'm at a loss here. But I'm going to go ahead and get 2 more of those hinges. This is going to look stupid with all those hinges on there. I'm not liking that at all. But I don't have any choice. So I'm going to run to the Lowe's, go get that, and I'm also, while I'm there, I'm going to look for some handles for the side and also get the paint. So I'll be back.